Okay, welcome everyone. I'm going to call the meeting to order. Please rise for pledge of allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Welcome everyone.
Thank you.
This should be our, especially you, Chris. This should be our last meeting here, and then we get to go next door, right?
Yes.
Okay, so last meeting here. The first item on the agenda is homeowners associations, and Willowbrook, Aaron Underwood, are you, or anyone?
I literally just walked in the door.
Oh, Aaron, there you are. Yeah, you are. Yes.
Let's see, I have 3 things. First, we had, doing some work to our bridge, and it was much appreciated. We contacted the village to maybe for a pointer or for reference. We'd like to use a different surfacing material other than wood, like maybe a reinforced concrete product or something, so that maybe we get 20 or 30 years instead of the normal 10 or 12. But anyway, Jeff gave us some information that's much appreciated. Second thing, the group garbage thing did not go well. I'm also had a house that's donated. We had issues both in Willowbrook and Stoneham and multiple calls to group. It all got resolved and it's all done, and so hopefully we don't have to do this every year.
Or the problems?
They're not picking up the cans.
Oh.
Like that, you were supposed to have cans out a certain day, certain time. End of the day, they're still there. The first couple rounds, I think we called the village, and then at some point we started calling group. And it took Groot a couple of calls before they finally, eventually they went away. So.
Interesting.
All resolved. This is just sort of.
So just so you know, my pickup this week was at 5:45 a.m.
It was earlier, yeah.
Yeah, me too.
Way earlier.
5:45, and so Jay Griffiths always complains about the noise, at the golf course, and I'm thinking, gosh, if he has garbage picked up at 5:45, I imagine what he would say to me.
All I'll say is we started putting out the night before.
You have to.
It's been a little of a crapshoot.
Yeah.
All right.
I just felt good because I had already gotten it out, and I'm like, oh man, good thing, but anyway.
All right.
Third thing, so in dealing with both of these issues, I had a couple of cases where I emailed Village Hall and didn't get any kind of response. And this is nothing, there aren't many of you, and it's busy, and all that. And everything got resolved in an acceptable time frame. But it caused me to wonder, maybe I shouldn't be emailing. Is there a preferred mechanism of communication? I don't know, is there a form on the website that I should be using instead of something at Long Grove,
Yeah, so we do have a resident request for service system on the website. It's fairly new, so you probably haven't seen it yet.
Excellent. Okay, because my related point was, as a small business, I use one of these things that logs all the requests and will nag me. Okay, my fault then. Good, thanks.
It's right here. See that?
Yeah, awesome.
That's
Yeah,
what you do right there. So.
That's good. It probably means they kick something back right away. Hey, got your request, we'll get back to you. Okay.
And then we.
I have not used
within
it, so I
24
cannot
hours,
vouch for how well it works, but Chris says it does.
Oh, no, it's good.
Okay.
I've used it, it works very well.
It does,
We'll
okay.
try and market it a little bit more so it gets out there.
Yeah, well, I'll pass the word around too, so.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's good.
All right. That's it? Okay. We know that Andrew Maggio is not going to be here. He responded saying that he has no issues for the board. Thanks to all of us, but he will not be attending. So now it's time for public comment. Okay, Benjamin Matthews?
Benjamin Matthews from 4369 Oak Lane in the village. The first question I have is, has there been any status updates for 4359 Illinois 22 and its proposed special use permit? And the second question my neighbors and I were wondering is how the process will go about filling the vacancy on the village board, and how soon a new trustee will be appointed.
Well, I'll answer the second question, and I'll let you answer the other one. I have to bring a candidate forward, and I have not done that yet. I do plan to do that soon, so look for it shortly. Then, once I do that, the board can either confirm or deny my appointment. So.
4359, no updates on our review. We did get a follow-up email from them requesting an update, but we haven't done our review response to them yet at this point.
Any other public comment? Steve?
Yeah, well, I'm just here on behalf of, Country Club Metals, I mean, we've been dealing with this lock camera thing for about 2 years, it seems like we can never get on the docket. I mean, if it's not ever gonna get on the docket, I just need to tell my residents that that's not gonna happen, you know what I mean? And,
I'll answer your question. I do plan to put it on the docket, but I'm gonna wait till I appoint another trustee.
okay,
And at that point in time, after I do that, it'll be maybe a few meetings later, I'm gonna try to put this on the docket to revisit it.
I do appreciate that. My root issue, what I talked about 2 months ago with the, destruction of the cul-de-sacs, it was, I don't think it's been addressed, because Groot hasn't contacted me or gone out there, and I'm just trying to figure out, 2, 3 years down the line, when these roads need to get fixed, you know what I mean, like, who's gonna pay for those? I mean, if the village is contracting a contractor to come out there with something that is, oversized, that's ripping up the roads, you know what I mean? I think, as homeowners, are we gonna have to do a lawsuit to the village and try to get our properties fixed, or not? I mean, you got Lester doing snow plowing, if they damage your roads, they're gonna fix your roads. I'm just worried about this down the line, okay?
Can I ask you a question, though? Aren't the trucks the same size as the other trucks? So what's the difference?
They're not the same size. Because they might be the same size, but they're probably different trucks because they can't do the turning radius. Because they're pivoting. Instead of turning, they're pivoting.
Yeah, I drove down your street to
Yeah.
look at it, and, I mean, it's a tight cul-de-sac there with the median, with the middle circle there, so I don't know how the old truck was able to get around that clean.
Why can't they just go straight in and then back straight out? That's what they do on my street.
Pretty long. If you have a
Yeah.
solution, I mean, we.
I don't have a solution, it's just that it's gonna be our homeowners' problem to fix these roads, you know what I mean? And, we're not telling Groot to come pick up our garbage here. The village is making us use Groot to pick up our garbage, you know what I mean? Does Country Club Metals need to get a dumpsters and have a dumpster place somewhere, and everybody takes their garbage there, like we're up in Wisconsin or something like that, but you guys are forcing us to use these services, and and like I said, when you do building permits, and, people, and then we did one, 2 years ago, and they wrecked the cul-de-sac, the builder had to come by and repair all that cul-de-sac, he had to give a deposit for that.
Mhm.
Again, if that's private property, okay, I don't wanna call the sheriff every Monday and show him videotape and have him write a ticket to the guy every Monday. There's no reason to do that. Something needs to be done, I'm not gonna walk my garbage cans down to the end of the cul-de-sac. I think this thing, when you guys mentioned Groot, I was at that meeting and I told you, did they go through every cul-de-sac and try to make it there, okay? Everybody can make it around a cul-de-sac, it's just that how are they making it around the cul-de-sac?
Yeah, so the question is there any solution that they could drive differently, or any modification can be made to make it so they can turn around it, or is it just too tight?
It's very tight cul-de-sacs, you know what I mean? Because we have the center, the center beautifying it, you know what I mean? But
Right.
it's happening to all the cul-de-sacs in the neighborhood, and, it's an issue that's gonna come up. So I just,
Okay,
I'm just putting it out there, I know we got that abandoned house in the neighborhood for 3 months now, you know what I mean? And I don't understand, why the bank or anybody can't be cutting the grass or keeping it up. It looks terrible, you know what I mean?
actually, did you know about that?
Yeah,
So are we cutting it?
we're arguing with the bank needs to use a specific contractor versus the,
The Realtor has said they'll do it, but the bank is very particular that they say they
Hey,
can't.
it just looks bad going through the neighborhood, you know what I mean?
Yep.
Going through the neighborhood, you know what I mean? We used to be a very desirable community in Country Club Meadows, and, you look at some of the statistics, our home prices in our subdivision have dropped 1% a month for the last 12 months. While the whole village of Long Grove has gone up almost 1%. And you could look at the Realtor data, that every home, you know, our prices in our subdivision have dropped. You know, they're building a, $1.6 million subdivision less than a mile away from us, you know what I mean? I don't know why we're going down to nothing, you know what I mean? So, I'm worried about the pricing of our homes there too, you know what I mean? So, I just wanted to, bring that up. I do appreciate you clarifying the thing on the flock camera.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
I will bring it back before the board.
And my last comment is there any way, I did get a solicitation notice today, okay, but it's, what is it, the 12th or whatever, it's dated for the 11th, I think, but I just got it here before I came here. And that's great, I love that system, because I can put it out all to neighbors. When there's a sheriff call in the neighborhood, okay, is that anywhere that, I know when Stephanie Hannon was a trustee, she had that information of what's going on in the neighborhood, you know what I mean? Last week there was a Lake County sheriff parked between two houses down from me. But it was parked in between houses, but there was nobody in the squad. I'm just, people are asking me what was going on. I have no idea, but is that public notice, or is that not public, I know there's gotta be some privacy issue there, but, they're trying to ask me, they're emailing me what was going on there, that the police were there. So I don't know, is that something?
Well, no, so actually, this is, Keith knows this too probably, right? So this is like, when I was an HOA president, this was my number one issue.
Yeah.
Was something would happen in the neighborhood, and I would find out, like a couple days later, and I'd be asking questions, what happened, right? We don't have a good mechanism of notifying the HOA president, given area, when something's going on there. I don't know, Keith, there's probably no easy way to do that, so.
Yeah, FOIA process.
Yeah. I'm just,
Yep.
people are asking, they're asking me questions, I'm sure they'll,
Yep.
eventually, some of these some people are just nosy, you know what I mean? So, I just didn't know, if there was a, a certain, thing or something like that. If I'm sure if there's a robbery in the neighborhood or something, there'd be an alert, the Lake County Sheriff would have put an alert out.
Right.
It couldn't have been something that drastic.
Right.
But I appreciate the great job you guys are doing, you know what I mean? I think Long Grove's a great community. I'd love to stay here, but, I was getting frustrated over the last 2 years, for things, and, but,
Thank you.
you guys do a great job.
Thanks for your service. Appreciate it. All right, other public comment in the room? Anybody? You have public comment?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, you're on the agenda next, so,
Yeah. Well, that's why I came, is to hear the police report.
do you have any, Lieutenant Kaiser, do you have anything for us?
Yeah, if anybody was aware about the harassing telephone calls that the village hall received, during, the Quick Trip, dialogue, the sheriff's office obtained an arrest warrant for Stephen Barston, a Long Grove resident. And he was arrested on 2 counts of telephone harassment. They're both misdemeanors, but, it's, playing out in court.
They made threatening phone calls to the village. I also got threatening emails. We couldn't trace it to anyone. But the email said, quote unquote, I will never, if it passes, I will never feel safe walking around the village again. That was nice.
And, Mr. Barston lives on the 1200 block of Manassas Lane in Long Grove.
Thank you for bringing that up, and the guy's okay in the end, so. Crazy. Anything else? Any questions on that? All right, let's keep us moving.
I have a real quick question for the sheriff. There was a rollover accident at Schaefer and Old 53 on Sunday. At least that's what I'm hearing. You guys aware of it?
I'm sure that we're aware of it.
They're not? Okay.
I'm not specifically aware of that.
Okay.
There had to be something, because the cars were just lined up coming through the neighborhood.
Yeah.
They piled them through down Schaefer, to check her, so.
I usually go to Randy for that.
Okay, so we'll keep us moving. End of the sheriff report. We have a consent agenda. We have a few items on there. Approval of payment of the bills. And then approval of the minutes, the regular meeting of July 22nd, 25. There's two special event apps for the Prairie State Half Marathon on October 4th, and then the Turkey Trot on November 27th. There's, the signatories have to be updated, because we now have trustee Tanucci as the finance chair, so, the signatories for UBS, BMO, and then, Northbrook Bank and Trust have to be updated. And then I'm gonna ask, just so that there's no questions, there's another item in the consent agenda, approval of a memorandum of understanding, the joint emergency telephone system, Board of Lake County, and I wanted Village Manager Sparkman just to explain what that is, in case anyone had questions.
Yeah, so this is an MOU, so there's no contractual obligation with it, but the new JETSB of Lake County has asked that we approve this. And what this essentially did is it consolidated the previous 7 local emergency telephone system boards, which included the Lake County Emergency Telephone System Board that the village was in. So it's a consolidation effort to try and save costs long-term with the new joint ETSB. And, I mean, if anyone has any questions on it, it's pretty straightforward.
And if there's no questions, or nobody wants to remove anything from the consent agenda, would somebody like to make a motion to approve? Yes.
I just had a couple of concerns. Certificate of liability is $500,000. It seems like if we had a Hyde Park type event or a dump truck driving into the crowd, it seems like that's not much money to pay.
Can anyone comment on that?
I think it's the standard amount we've done in the past. We can look at increasing that amount.
Yeah, I don't even carry $1 million at my house anymore.
Yeah, what are our requirements? Do we require $1 million? I'm looking right now on the form.
Yeah, I'm thinking it has to be written somewhere in our ordinances, but liability of $1 million when you have a crowd that dies doesn't seem like it's really enough if there is a catastrophe.
Does anyone,
And one of those documents, has 2024 date on it. I think it's a document you probably have to sign every time, so they just
as I saw that these were all submitted, last year, ended up getting to us this year is how I read it.
Oh, okay.
Because it was submitted on,
They submit them, but.
and it just got to us now.
Oh, I see.
So that's how I read it when I saw
I
it.
got it, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I don't know that that was a problem. Is there any, legal advice from our attorneys here on this liability thing and public policy?
I'm looking at the code. This is Vic. I'm looking at the code, and we actually have the $1 million limit as a code provision. So if we wanted to increase it, that would require an ordinance. It's not a significant process, but it will have to come back before you. I remember being told many years ago that you can never have enough insurance. So from the perspective of that, if the board feels more comfortable moving forward to increase that limit, we can prepare an ordinance for that.
As far as what we have today, though, we're okay
What is
approving it.
what is provided does reflect the requirements in the code.
And maybe we should, that's for the future.
For the future, right? Yeah.
You know, like,
Yeah, I think that makes sense.
if you get an umbrella policy on, attached to your homeowner insurance, it starts at $5 million.
Okay, with, looking at that for the future, that's on Chris's plate. Does anyone want to make a motion to approve?
One more,
Oh, one more.
one more,
Wait, there's more.
one more. In all of their rules and the things that they have to abide by, that we agree says that there is a 48-hour time frame that will notify them in person or by mail if it needs to be canceled.
For the turkey trot, the event?
Yeah. And I don't know how you're gonna cancel it within 48 hours by mail. It just seemed kind of weird to me, that's all. You'd have to track them down in 48 hours. You know, it's not a big deal, I don't think, but it doesn't seem to be realistic.
That's our application they're filling out, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, so we need to revise our application. Yeah, there you go, there's 2 items. Thank you for calling those out.
I've been to read the whole thing, that's all.
Do you want to make a motion to approve? Okay. Moved by trustee O'Connor, seconded by
Second.
trustee Borowski. Roll call?
Trustee O'Connor moved to approve the consent agenda, items 5 through 12, seconded by trustee Borowski. Trustee O'Connor.
Aye.
Trustee Borowski.
Aye.
Trustee Jamil.
Aye.
Trustee Janucci.
Aye. Okay. Motion carries. All right, the next item on the agenda is, this is actually for you, Steve. An ordinance amending the village code regarding solicitation and peddling. So we'll hopefully incorporate some of your thoughts from the last meeting that you were at. I'm gonna ask, one of our village attorneys to introduce this. Alexander, do you wanna do it?
So our current solicitation ordinance distinguishes between categories of solicitation. There's been recent Supreme Court case law and cases following that that have kind of made that outdated. So we've updated, draft updates that to make it solicitations defined as just commercial activity instead of different content, categories. Essentially, the Supreme Court, when they're looking at speech restrictions, they used to let you, they did differentiate between viewpoint regulation and subject matter regulation. So essentially, if you imagine like a library has a bunch of books, they can be, subject matter would be like fiction, nonfiction, or different categories, and viewpoint would be, what's expressed in those books. And that used to be separate. There's a case called Reed v. Town of Gilbert that came along and said, basically, if you have to look into what anything says at all, that is just content-based restriction. It's subject to strict scrutiny, which basically means the regulation will not be upheld if you're following. And so what we did is we just, instead of trying to regulate different areas, we said it's just on private property and just commercial activity. So it's viewpoint and content neutral, only is commercial. And we've also kind of revised some of the application, requirements. Made it so, if you're 18 years, if you're a minor, you don't need an application to solicit. Probably not fair to make you selling Girl Scout cookies, apply for a village permit, go door to door. We made it so, there's certain felonies that you commit, you can't, disqualify you from certificate for solicitation. And the other major thing is that we've, regarding to solicitation in the public rights of way, we changed that so it's just based on safety, essentially. So anything that obstructs the right of way or, done in a way to impede safety or is done in a harassing manner, that's unlawful under this one, under the updated ordinance. And we also updated a few things like how they can approach people's doors. So someone soliciting door to door can only remain on the premises for 3 minutes total. They can only knock up to 4 times or ring the doorbell 2 times. And of course, there's still, we didn't change things like you can put a no solicitation sign in your property to prevent, that makes it unlawful for anyone to solicit there. We kept in provisions like that. And happy to answer any questions.
We got specific on the locations.
Oh, that's right.
So if you want to go through that.
We also, made it unlawful to, engage in, commercial activity soliciting within certain rights of way, just due to safety reasons, so that would be, Robert Parker Coffin Road between Schaefer Road and Archer Road, Old McHenry Road between Archer and Cuba, Route 53 between Old McHenry and Route 83, and so on. I mean, it's on,
Well, I think you were talking about, Lake Hook Road and 53, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's on the
That
list.
is on the list as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that would be unlawful in the new
Do
ordinance.
you see solicitation permits going up in the village, I know you
Oh,
haven't been
yeah.
here long, but from previous years? I mean, do you think that more people are trying to infiltrate solicitation permits in the village?
There's very few,
Very few?
yeah. And it's usually, following a storm, the
Yeah.
roofers come in.
Storm chasers.
That little bit of information you had about, they can only be on your property for 3 minutes and stuff like that, can I get that somewhere? Because I can send it out to the homeowners,
And we're gonna get this in our newsletter
Yeah.
with a postcard for the no solicitation,
I mean, because I think that'd be great,
Yep.
for people to know.
Yeah.
I actually have a question as well. If a solicitor shows up on your premises without a permit, or we call it now a certificate, who do they call? Who does the homeowner call?
Sure.
911.
Yeah.
Or then emergency.
549-5200.
Okay. So we should put that in the newsletter too.
Yep.
And so if people are campaigning for office, are they exempt?
Yeah, that's not solicitation under the definition that we crafted, because that would be, things like, campaign that's, more strictly regulated in speech, so that's not something we could safely, regulate.
That's what I figured.
Yeah, and it's not commercial.
And you're not selling anything.
Yeah. Well, sort of.
Yes. Right.
It says that the certificate can't exceed 90 consecutive calendar days. That's a long time, is it not?
Right.
The thinking on a 90-day certificate to bang on doors.
Well, I think the village manager has discretion on how long to grant, and I don't think many people would ask for.
We don't grant them that long.
I think the last couple of recent ones were 10 days or something like that, well, maximum.
We do 2, yeah,
Yeah.
2 weeks.
But if I come in here and I ask for 90 days, because I'm not gonna be out every day, I'm gonna be out in the next few months.
We typically make them reapply every 10 days.
Okay, it doesn't say that. I understand.
Yeah.
Reality.
Well, is there some, should we have it be at the discretion of the village manager? There could be a legitimate reason why. I don't know.
Well, it's an expiration date, shall be printed on the face of each solicitation certificate of registration. Each certificate issued will be valid for a period of time set by the village manager, but not to exceed 90 consecutive calendar days.
So the village manager has discretion in that. We're just setting a max, just so.
Not indefinite.
Do you have concerns with that, or, yes?
No, I just.
Oh, yeah.
I just didn't know the thinking behind it, like.
I don't know, there could be an instance where they want a longer one, I don't know, could be legit.
No,
Yeah. Yeah.
I admittedly, maybe they're only gonna go 1 week each month or 3 months.
Right.
Just was curious.
Anyone have other questions?
Any way for anything to apply to telecommunications? Like, I've had literally I counted 59 roofers call me. I've counted. Is there any way we could
Does your roof look bad?
no, I really.
All right, so does the FCC cover that, and that's not our
thing, right?
thing, right?
Probably getting called.
Does anyone know that? Telephone?
Yes.
Yeah, yes, that's the answer, the FCC does it?
That's something that is covered by the FCC, and I believe the Attorney General of Illinois has regulations with respect to wire, over the wire communications. But, frankly, and I'm one who shares that same affliction, Chris, there's almost no way of knowing where the call is being generated. I mean, even if it has a local area code, that call could be coming from literally anywhere. So, there's no ability for the village to regulate it because our regulatory authority is strictly within the village limits.
Thanks, Vic.
Get rid of your landline.
I did, and they still managed to call.
They still call on the cell.
To find you.
So with that, I'll move to approve.
Moved by trustee Borowski, seconded by trustee O'Connor. That's a roll call, right? Yeah.
Trustee Borowski, moves
Aye.
to approve the ordinance
Aye.
amending the village regarding solicitation. Seconded by trustee O'Connor. Trustee Borowski.
Still aye.
Trustee O'Connor.
Aye.
Trustee Jamil.
Aye.
Trustee Janucci.
Aye.
Motion carried. Okay, moving right along. This is the thing you wait for every board meeting, and that's the village engineers report, right?
I do.
You do.
All right, the engineer's report is in the board packet, just a couple of exciting highlights for tonight. First of all, number one, this is the village hall expansion, as Bill mentioned. Moving over there is coming quickly, so waiting on the door is the big thing. Number two, the road program for this year, we get the pre-construction meeting tomorrow. You should have a schedule after that. Associated with the road program is the reclamite, the pavement preventative maintenance, and that is scheduled to be applied on Thursday and Friday this week. And that does include trustee O'Connor's subdivision. Hopefully they have notified you of that. Good. Just making sure. We'll jump down, number 9, Arlington Heights, what's that?
He said if it rains.
If it rains, we'll put in, extra. I'm just kidding. No. Push it
No,
back.
that is what,
Yes, okay.
I don't think it's gonna rain.
Not with your luck.
Should be dry.
Let the minutes reflect. Anyway, number 9, Arlington Heights Road, not in Long Grove, but, next week they are going to start, in about 2 weeks, they're gonna start, work on Checker Road east of Arlington Heights Road, that's in Buffalo Grove. And for 2 days, that, is going to be closed. So if you try to go on Checker Road east of Arlington Heights Road, you're going to have to go around. That's scheduled for the 25th and the 26th. If that changes, they will let us know. Number 10, Illinois Route 22 widening. As I mentioned a few board meetings ago, there's some motivation to have trees cleared this winter. And in conjunction with that momentum on the project, we're coordinating with IDOT to get more information on where they stand with the landscape enhancements, the retaining wall finishes, the railings, and the IGA, the costs. So we're still playing a little bit of email trading with them to get updated on everything, because it's been a little bit. So hopefully I have a better update and more thorough update in 2 weeks on that. And then the last thing I just wanted to highlight, 14B, the drainage in the Archer parking lot bioswales. That's out to bid. We're gonna open bids for that, on Thursday. So, get that underway this fall and get that, straightened out before, the spring rains. So, that's all the updates I had. Happy to take any questions if there are any.
On the U-Walk? On the U-Walk?
Or Route 22?
Yeah,
Yeah,
we never resolved that.
correct,
What to finish.
Correct.
What the finish would be, because they didn't have their numbers,
correct.
blah, blah, blah.
That's part of what we're, I'm trying to make sure we're on the same page as far as where we are with IDOT at this point.
They got all their, land acquisition.
That's no, but, gotta leave some things in the bag for some excitement in 2 weeks from now.
Or cut the trees down if they don't
Well, I mean, they can probably cut down 98% of the trees that are in the right of way,
And then
so
2
it's the
years from now, they'll be allocating.
something like that. So, I'm getting more information, there's a lot to it, and, seems to be a lot of momentum right now.
Any other questions? All right, I'll take that as a report. And then we'll just move into the village president trustee reports. I'm not gonna give a report tonight. Trustee Borowski, do you have a report?
No, sir, no report.
Trustee,
What was that meeting that you went to? No?
It was a meeting. Well, okay, so, so to answer your question, the meeting was a Lake County-wide committee put together called House.
Yeah.
And
you talked about it already?
no,
I think you and I talked about
Oh, we talked about
we
it.
talked about it privately.
Yeah, okay, got it. You and I talked about it privately.
And it's basically kind of a 6-month project. It was a kickoff meeting for a 6-month project, and it's focused on trying to find ways to collaboratively work together to find or solve potential housing shortages throughout Lake County on the order of, like 18,000 homes. Like, 7 or 8, don't write the numbers out, but it's like 7 or 8,000 are not, I gotta go back to my notes, but it's like 7 or 8,000 are for just, the need for low-income housing, and additional 10 or 11 are the need for low-income housing, particularly targeting low-income for service-type industries like, workers, municipal workers, city workers, healthcare workers, our teachers, even education workers. So it's an interesting meeting in that it's a collaboration across multiple disciplines, almost all the communities throughout Lake County. It's an ongoing project trying to find ways to collaborate and also to find ways to take individual action to try to stimulate the solution for the lack or the need of more housing in Lake County.
About buildings that are built like today's dorms, where there's a common area, a kitchen, and apartments, like on the perimeter, things like that. It seems like that sort of format could work.
Well, you buy a house on Walmart.com for $29,000 too, you know.
Yeah, but you don't have the land to put it on here, so.
That's part of it. But it was an interesting, meeting because it was staffed or represented by all municipalities. Lake County Board was certainly very active. The school superintendent of all Lake County schools is involved, as well as the Chamber of Commerce guy. I don't even know what his official title is, but the guy who runs Lake County Development. So it was interesting in that regard. There's a lot of work to be done.
What kind of suggestions did they have?
Well, I'm not sure if we had suggestions yet. I think this is more of the problem definition stage where they're talking about the need for homes in the future. They're saying that, the need for these, like the 18,000 homes is actually like as soon as 2027. So you have to be building homes like soon to be able to do that. So it's kind of a priority and urgency. There was no solutions per se. They did have a representative from Dane County, who claims that they were very successful in working together to find ways to implement low-income housing. At the end of the day, it all came down to subsidies, right? That's really what it came down to. There was multiple speakers and multiple people on the panel basically said, yeah, that's all well and good, but we can't do it without subsidizing it. So it was kind of an interesting thing in that regard, where you go, okay, you can improve transportation, get a better transportation system. There's comments like, well, we tried thinking about maybe busing people in from a different neighborhood into an area where we need workers, and, somebody said, I'll dismiss right away because, you can't bus people in, but, from my experience in working in multiple countries, that's exactly what other countries do, I mean, Think about Malaysia busing workers into Singapore, or think about, companies in Japan building compounds, dorms, to your point, for local workers that they need. So it was kind of interesting. I mean, some of the ideas that, you know, I would have thought about or wanted to discuss were sort of dismissed outright, and there was a lot of people going, oh, we need subsidies. Okay, sure, let's throw money at the problem, because it's all we can do, right, throw money at it.
Throw borrowed money at the
Throw
problem.
money at it, yeah. So,
But those are the monies that are currently being discussed as not being available anymore. Subsidized housing, you know, where the developer, 10% of the units are lower income than the
Right.
threshold. There's a financial advantage for a developer, and there's serious talk that that's gonna go away.
yes, I heard that too, we heard that too, yeah. So, I don't know if I answered your question well or not, but it was really a thought meeting to sort of gain awareness, gain some buy-in, start, you know, the different municipalities talking to each other, because I think they pretty much decided that one village, one town, one city can't do it all. It's gotta be a collaborative, region-wide kind of effort for things to happen. Because you need transportation and utilities, and, you know, you need a way to sort of facilitate, that kind of activity.
Thanks for your report.
Sorry, thank you.
You're good, don't be sorry. No report, trustee Jamil. Trustee O'Connor?
No offense.
Trustee Tanucci?
No report.
Okay. Well, I have a request, to go into executive session tonight. Oh, village manager, do you have a report?
Nothing to add.
For pending and threatened litigation and acquisition and disposition of property. Does somebody want to make a motion to go into executive session?
So moved.
Moved by trustee Tanucci, seconded by trustee O'Connor.
So we won't know, we can go home.
You could. All in favor?
We'll have to do it next time.
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, motion carries. Thank you.
We should.
Oh, it's a roll call. Take a roll call. Thank you. Roll call vote.
Okay, trustee Tanucci,
Aye.
trustee O'Connor,
Aye.
trustee Jamil,
Aye.
trustee Borowski.
Aye.
All right, motion carries. All right, stand by. Good night, everybody.
I'll figure it out.
Thank you. You did? Yeah?
She had cataract surgery
Right.
a few weeks ago. There was debris that came to the back of her eye, so she had a surgery and to remove the debris.
Wow.
So that's what's going on with her. She looks good. I mean, she looks good. She took off her sunglasses. I was kind of small. I said, "Oh, that doesn't look good."
Oh.
But I hope it all goes well.
Thanks for letting us know.
Yeah, I wanted to let you know that, because I said, "Do you tell Bill?" She said, "No, I didn't tell Bill. You tell Bill." Okay, so that's it. But
Oh, my gosh.
otherwise, she's
I love
here,
Cheeky.
but She's laying low for a while.
All right, thanks for sharing that, George. All right.
Thank you.
Okay, so now we need to figure out how to go into executive session. I don't know who Manesh is, but, I don't think that, who's Manesh? That shouldn't be in the meeting, right?
Yeah, I'm clear. Listening in.
Thank you, yeah, we're gonna go into executive session, so. See if we can- Now, how do I don't want to put this person in the room. How do I do that?
Are you able to do a breakout, Bill?
I'm trying, I'm trying to do it. Hold on, stand by. Let me see if
Yeah, I got it.
So not gonna ask the question about the,
Sure.
finance director?
Yes.
Should we not add a finance director thing to our agenda and get a report, even a written report or a paragraph or something?
We can.
I mean, I don't know what the finance guy's doing still, I'm still kind of out.
We are doing we're prepping a quarterly report that I was gonna distribute to you guys, so.
All right, let's talk, at quarterly, maybe, and maybe not, but let's put something in
Yeah.
there to at least.
Okay, somebody want to make a motion to adjourn?
So,
Moved by trustee O'Connor, seconded by trustee Jamil. All in favor? Any nays? Meeting adjourned. Good night, everyone.
Thanks, Zach.
Is